Hey guys, new week and a new theme. This week's theme is Destinations Unseen for the Live to Cook 2022 collaboration. And I'm starting it off with some spicy, saucy and sweet Jamaican jerk chicken wings. Chicken wings are great to get a taste of any new cuisine because wings are so approachable and you can really put all kinds of twists and flavors into those wings and enjoy it in any way. Let's get started. So here I have some white onions and some green onions, and these are some Scotch bonnet peppers. These are very high on the Scoville heat rating. So just to reduce that heat, we're gonna devein it, and just to make a smooth sauce, we'll de-seed it as well. Most of the spice is in the veins, so you want to get rid of that unless you really want a spicy sauce. I'll do the same with the rest as well. Now those spicy Scotch bonnet peppers are extremely hot, but don't worry because we're gonna cut through that spice with some sugar, so it's not going to be a spice on spice on spice that is unbearable kind of marinade when you're finally done with it. To make the marinade, add in your onions and peppers to a food processor and then start adding in your dried spices. So add in your dried thyme, your allspice, some dried parsley, some ground cumin, some paprika, garlic powder, cinnamon, some nutmeg, and then start adding in your wet ingredients. So your brown sugar, then some lime juice, then a few drizzles of soy sauce. You can use a light teriyaki sauce as well if you want. And then finally some oil just to help those blades move to get that nice smooth texture when we blend this. And then don't forget to season this with salt and pepper as well. Now just close that lid and puree this until it is completely smooth. Take as long as it takes to make sure that the texture is perfect. The smoother it is, the better the final texture of your wings would be as well. Now here's that beautiful sauce, and this was just so delicious in itself that I could just have a couple of teaspoons of this with some bread or pita, and I'm so excited to make these into the most beautiful wings. So here are all of my chicken wings. You can see that they're kind of moist, so we'll mop up some of that excess moisture using some paper towels, and that's just gonna help make sure the wings, they get nice and sticky and the marinade gets stuck onto it so that it just bakes and marinates really well, because we really want this to taste amazing. So just pour in all of your beautiful jerk marinade. If you plan on using some to serve on the side, then make sure you don't put it in the chicken, keep it separate for the table. Just give this all a nice toss. Use your hands to massage it in if you want to, but those peppers are hot, so you might want to use gloves before you touch it with your hands, especially if you have any injuries. Now you want to give this as much time as you can give it to marinate, because the longer you marinate it, the more tender the meat would be and the more deeper the flavors of that jerk marinade will go into that chicken. And of course you can use this marinade for so many other cuts of meat, other cuts of chicken, pork, shrimp, other kinds of seafoods, and even vegetables would be great. Now I'm going to make these wings two ways. A portion of these would be in the air fryer while the rest would be baked in the oven. And there was one version that was a bit better than the other, and I'll reveal that towards the end of the video. So I have my baking sheet here, which I've lined with some parchment paper, and then I'm putting the wings on top of a wire rack. The wire rack is just to help create that additional space at the bottom, just to make sure that the wings become nice and crispy and there's some air circulation. And the parchment is just to make that cleanup that much more easier. My oven is heating at 400 Fahrenheit. Now just place this on the middle rack and we'll check back in 15 minutes. Now for the air fryer, I have this basket, and again it's raised, and that's going to help with the air circulation to get these wings nice and crispy because it will allow the air to circulate. Just make sure you add your wings with a bit of a gap. make sure they're not touching and sticking to each other when you start cooking them in the air fryer. Now we'll just cook this in air fry mode at 350 and we'll check back in about 13 minutes. Now don't throw that marinade out. That's going to be used for basting, so just have a pastry brush ready and we'll check back in a few minutes. Now while these wings are baking, let me talk to you more about the Destinations Unseen theme. In this theme, the whole idea is that you dive into a new culture and experience that culture through the form of food. So try a cuisine that either you're not good at or that you've never even tried before. And it's going to be a fun experience for you and the people who are invested in this collab, and I'm really excited to see what you can come up with. So that's how the wings look after about 15 minutes in the oven. The marinade has become kind of dark and you can see tips have started to become kind of golden crispy brown. Now we just want to baste it, and we'll baste it on each side as well. So baste the first side with the leftover marinade, then turn the chicken wings and then do the same on the other side as well. That's really going to help make sure that our wings are well coated in our sauce and that they're super tender. Now these air fryer wings after about 13 minutes look way more cooked because it is cooking much faster. The air fryer is a bit stronger. It's like an oven with a hot fan, but do the same with these guys as well. Baste it, turn it, baste it, and then put it back in the oven for about 8 minutes. And I want to give a special thanks for everybody who has already participated in the previous 2 weeks for this month of January. And let me know what feedback you might have. Let me know if you think you need more time. Do you think we should extend it? Do you need more time to come up with your recipes? Let me know. And if you want to see what the last theme for this month's collab is, just be sure to check out the link down below and you'll get the free Live to Cook collab guide and some free goodies with it as well. The reason why I chose jerk chicken today is I have tried Caribbean or jerk food a couple of years back now, and I think I used a jarred sauce, and it was just unbearably spicy and to the point where I actually couldn't eat it because all I could taste was spice and not flavor. And when I made this marinade, I could fine tune it to the way that I wanted it to taste. So this was just flavorful and spicy because it's meant to be spicy, but it was actually like something that I could work with and something that I could eat, and you'll see how great these wings look when they're done. And here's what our wings look like from the oven in about 50 or so minutes. You don't have to cook it for the full 60 minutes. We are flipping these 3 times at 15-minute intervals, and we're looking for the point where we have some light charring and a crispy texture on the outside. And here's a surprise. You can see that both the air fryer wings and the oven baked wings basically look the same. The only difference being the oven baked wings were a bit juicier while the air fryer did become a bit dry because we are using a marinade and not tossing it in a sauce after it's done cooking. So my preferred way would be oven baked. What's yours? Like this video if you're enjoying it this far, and if you want to see more techniques like this or try to dive into a new cuisine and try all kinds of things with food, then be sure to hit subscribe to this channel, share this recipe with a chicken lover in your life, and for more air fry recipes, be sure to click the links over here. See you guys.